Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today we're sharing an amazing story that will touch your heart. It's about Will Klein, the charming young star from The Little Couple, and his secret romance with Amy, a wonderful woman from Australia. For the past 5 years, they've been dating quietly, keeping their love private. But now the secret is out, they're engaged. They plan to get married on September 15th, 2025. To make it even sweeter, Will's parents gave a new car to Will and his future wife. I'll explain everything. First, let's take a quick look back for those who might need a refresher or are new to the Klein family story. Will Klein became known to us through The Little Couple, a TLC reality show that aired from 2009 to 2019. The show followed the amazing lives of Bill Klein and Dr. Jennifer Arnold, a couple with dwarfism balancing their careers, family, and life. Bill is a smart businessman with businesses in pet supplies and medical devices, while Jen is a neonatologist, a baby doctor, and now the medical director at Johns Hopkins All-Children's Hospital in Florida. They met in 2006, fell in love, and married in 2008 at a beautiful beach wedding. The big change came in 2013 when Bill and Jen adopted Will from China. Will was just 3 years old and brought so much joy to their lives. In 2014, they adopted their daughter Zoe from India, completing their family. The show captured their move from Houston, Texas, to St. Petersburg, Florida, the kids learning English, and all the everyday moments that made the family so relatable. Will, with his big smile and playful spirit, was always a highlight. He grew from a curious toddler to a kind, bright young man right before our eyes. Even after the show ended in 2019, the Kleins kept fans updated on social media, and Will has grown into someone truly special. Now, Will is in the spotlight for a new reason, one that's been quietly growing for years. He found love, and it's a story that's romantic, surprising, and inspiring. Let's meet the woman who captured his heart. Her name is Amy Elizabeth Harper. She's from Sydney, Australia, a vibrant, caring woman. Imagine golden beaches, the Sydney Opera House, and a lively city. That's where Amy comes from. Amy is more than just a businesswoman. She's an entrepreneur who started an eco-friendly fashion brand called Green Threads in 2015. Her goal was to create stylish clothes that don't harm the planet. Think dresses made from bamboo, jackets from recycled cotton, and fair working conditions. Amy put her heart into this business. But Amy is also very warm and kind. She spends weekends volunteering at animal shelters in Sydney, bottle-feeding orphaned kittens, and walking rescue dogs. She's active in environmental causes like beach cleanups and tree planting. She also mentors young entrepreneurs, helping them chase their dreams. People say she has a heart of gold, and she lights up any room she's in. And as it turns out, she lights up Will Klein's life too. Amy grew up in a close family. She's the oldest of 3 sisters. Emily, who studies marine biology, and Sophie, who loves graphic design. Her parents, David and Lisa Harper, are both teachers. David teaches history, and Lisa teaches English literature. They raised Amy with kindness, hard work, and the importance of giving back. Amy is very close to her family, and often visits them for Sunday dinners or beach picnics. That strong family bond is something Amy and Will share, and it helped bring them together. So, how did these two amazing people meet? 5 years ago, on a warm night in Los Angeles, they met at the Hope for Children Charity Gala, an event raising money for children's hospitals around the world. Amy had flown in from Sydney to support the cause, something she's cared about since she was a teen. Will was there representing the Klein Family Foundation, which his parents created to give back. The room was full of fancy dresses and tuxedos, all focused on helping kids. A mutual friend, Sarah, who knew Amy from a sustainability conference and Will from a family event, decided to play matchmaker. "You two need to meet," she said, and brought them together. They started talking about the charity, then moved on to favorite travel spots and funny childhood stories. Amy laughed at Will's jokes, and Will was hooked by her accent and passion. Hours flew by, and by the end of the night, they exchanged numbers with a promise to keep in touch. Will said later, "I knew right then she was different." Amy felt the same way, saying he had a genuine kindness she couldn't ignore. That night was the beginning of something special. But there was a challenge. Amy was in Australia, and Will was in Florida. The distance was huge, 10,000 miles. Still, love found a way. Will and Amy started a long-distance relationship. Video calls became their lifeline. They spent hours talking about their days, their dreams, and even what they would cook if they were together. Will teased Amy about her love for Vegemite, and Amy bribed him with his favorite American barbecue. They watched movies together on Zoom, counting down to hit play at the same time. It wasn't always easy, time zones were tough, but they made it work. And then came the visits. Will flew to Sydney, surprising Amy with flowers or a silly sign at the airport. Amy flew to Florida and surprised Will with a picnic. They earned tons of frequent flyer miles. In Australia, they hiked the Blue Mountains. Amy showed him her favorite lookouts while taking photos. In the US, they spent time at St. Pete Beach, playing in the waves and building sandcastles like kids. They explored New York City, holding hands under the bright Times Square lights, and took a quiet trip to a cabin in the Smoky Mountains with just the two of them and a cozy fire. Their favorite thing was watching sunsets, whether on Bondi Beach or a Florida pier. Sitting side by side, soaking it all in. One time, Will surprised Amy with a trip to the Great Barrier Reef because she wanted to dive there. They swam with fish, admired the coral, and came up smiling like kids. Another special moment was when Amy threw Will a surprise birthday party in Los Angeles, flying in his friends and family. Will was amazed, and they danced all night. Through every moment and mile, their love grew steady, strong, and real. Here's the surprising part. For 5 years, they kept their relationship secret. No Instagram posts, no paparazzi pictures, just them and a few trusted friends. Why? 5 years is a long time to keep a romance hidden, especially for someone like Will, who grew up on TV. The reason comes down to a few things. First, Will knew how tough media attention could be. Being part of the little couple meant cameras, headlines, and a lot of public scrutiny. His parents had dealt with it for years. Will didn't want that for himself or Amy. He said, "I wanted us to have something just ours, away from all that noise." There was also the issue of comparisons. Bill and Jen's love story was very public, beautiful, yes, but also closely watched and analyzed by fans and tabloids. Will and Amy didn't want their relationship to be judged or measured against that before it had a chance to grow. Plus, being long distance made things harder already, so they didn't want any added pressure from the public. Keeping their relationship private let them focus on what really mattered: building trust, testing their bond, and making sure it was strong. This year, after 5 years of love, laughter, and many plane rides, Will knew the time was right. He wanted the proposal to be perfect, unforgettable, romantic, and totally Amy. So he planned a trip to Paris, the city of love. He told Amy it was just a getaway, a break from their busy lives. Amy believed him, packing her bags without a clue. They spent a few days enjoying croissants at cozy cafes and strolling through Montmartre. Then, on their last evening, Will took her to a spot overlooking the Eiffel Tower. The sun was setting, painting the sky gold and pink. He had found the perfect place beforehand to make the moment special. As they stood there, Will turned to Amy, his heart beating fast. Dropping to one knee, he said, "You're my best friend, my everything. Will you marry me?" Then he showed her the ring, a beautiful custom-made piece with a large, ethically sourced diamond set in recycled gold, because that matched Amy's values of beauty with a conscience. Amy's jaw dropped, tears filled her eyes, and she nodded before shouting, "Yes." They hugged, laughed, and cried together. Passers-by clapped, and the Eiffel Tower twinkled as if it was celebrating with them. They finished the night with dinner at a small bistro, champagne, escargot, and a dreamy walk along the Seine River. Amy later said, "It felt like a movie. I couldn't believe it was real." Will smiled and said, "I planned it for months. She's worth every second." That night, they started dreaming about the future. Where would they get married? Who would be there? They decided on Australia, Amy's home, so her family could be part of the celebration. September 15th, 2025 became the date to mark their new chapter. But the surprises didn't end there. Let's talk about the wedding plans. Will and Amy are deep into planning their big day on September 15th, 2025, in Sydney, Australia. They chose Cliffside Manor, a stunning venue overlooking the ocean. Imagine a lush garden for the ceremony and a grand ballroom for the party afterward. It will be a small wedding, about 100 guests, close friends and family full of love. Amy is working with a top wedding planner named Emma to perfect every detail. The theme is soft pastels, blush pink, lavender, mint green, with flowers everywhere, roses, peonies, eucalyptus, mixed with candles and fairy lights for a magical glow. Amy's dress is a beautiful sustainable gown from an eco-friendly designer, and Will's suit is custom-made, sharp, and totally him. The bridal party is set. Amy's sisters, Emily and Sophie, will be bridesmaids, and Will's best friends, Jake and Ryan, will be groomsmen. The ceremony will blend both their cultures. They'll have a Chinese tea ceremony to honor Will's heritage, where they serve tea to their parents as a sign of respect. Then, at the reception, there will be an Australian bush dance with lively music and twirling skirts. The menu will be a food lover's dream. American classics like lobster rolls will meet Australian favorites like kangaroo steaks, and pavlova will be served for dessert. A live band will keep the dance floor busy, and there will be a photo booth for silly pictures. Will is planning a surprise too. He's written a song for Amy and might sing it. That's definitely swoon-worthy. They're excited. Amy says, "It's our day, but we want everyone to feel the love." Will agrees, "It's about us, but also our families coming together." Speaking of family, there's one more sweet surprise. Right after the engagement news got out to their close circle, Will's parents, Bill and Jen, had a gift ready. They gave Will and Amy a brand new Tesla Model S. This isn't just any car. It's sleek and white with a black interior, fully electric and packed with tech. It fits perfectly with Amy's eco-friendly values and their adventurous lifestyle. They opened it at a family dinner, jaws dropping as Bill handed over the keys. "You're starting a new journey," Jen said, tearing up. "We wanted you to have something special." Will and Amy are thrilled. They're already planning road trips, maybe up the California coast or Australia's Great Ocean Road. But the car means more than just travel, it's a symbol of support. Bill and Jen adore Amy and have welcomed her like a daughter. Amy's parents, David and Lisa, feel the same about Will, calling him the son we never had. It's a beautiful coming together of families rooting for their happiness. "We're so blessed," Will says. Amy agrees. "It's not just us. It's everyone we love cheering us on." Will and Amy's story is like a dream. 5 years of secret dates, oceans apart, and a love that wouldn't quit. From that gala to the proposal in Paris, they've built something unbreakable. The secrecy wasn't about hiding. It was about protecting their love so it could grow without pressure. Now, with a wedding coming and a shiny Tesla in the driveway, they're ready to step into the light. Will says it best, "Amy's my soulmate. She's incredible and lucky every day. Amy is just as in love. Will's my rock, kind, funny, real. I can't wait to be his wife." Their journey shows that love doesn't need a spotlight to shine. It just needs two hearts willing to fight for it. September 15th, 2025, is more than a wedding. It's a promise kept, a family made, and a future starting. We're so excited for Will and Amy, and we'll keep you updated on their big day. What do you think of their story? Leave a comment below. Were you surprised by the secrecy? Are you Team Tesla? Now for more updates. Little couple fans have been moved to tears over Will's big milestone, as shared by proud mom Jen Arnold in a recent post. Jen also revealed she caught Will cursing on TikTok and shared the story. Will has found a new hobby, and Jen posts updates about him and Zoe on social media since the little couple ended. Despite his adult size, Will is returning to a hobby he loved as a boy. Boating was common for Will and Zoe on the show. When they moved to Boston, Massachusetts, the cooler weather surprised them, but there are boats and beaches there too. They adjusted well and seem happy in their new home. Will plays lacrosse and has taken up a new pastime recently. Thinking back to when the show was on, it brings memories of all the fun things Will and Zoe did. About 4 years ago, viewers saw an episode where they went sailing. Recently, Jen posted a blurry photo on Instagram, possibly taken on a rough sea sailing trip. Her comment, "So proud of Will Klein for getting back in the sailboat again," gave fans a hint. Will is currently 13 years old, in case you didn't know. He seems ready for a bigger sailboat than the small dinghy he used before. Fans who still love the family quickly left comments on Jen's page, showing their support.